As a chef, I know flavor doesn't begin in the kitchen. It begins on the land. And Westhome's nature-led Australian Wagyu is a story written in the landscape of Northern Australia. Cooking is storytelling, and Westhome Wagyu carries a story of Northern Australia itself. Raw, powerful, and deeply authentic. It's a testament to the passion and care raised in the rhythm of Northern Australia. I'm Chef Maylin from 88 Club in Los Angeles, and I invite you to visit westhome.com/Maylin to learn more. And taste a story only Westhome nature-led Australian Wagyu can tell. That's westhome.com/MEILIN.
From our virtual studios in the Netherlands.
And of course, Camarillo, California.
It is, once again, ladies and gentlemen, time for your favorite marketing show of all time, The Marketing Geeks.
The only show that brings you the latest, the greatest, the best news out there on what's working in marketing and our personal opinions on movies, because that is critical to your marketing success.
That's right. And if you're going to listen to any show about marketing, listen to this one too. Please.
It is the #1 rated show for people that are listening to it right now. It is amazing. Everybody loves Marketing Geeks. It's the best show out there today.
Especially the best show with the words marketing and geek in the title. We'll go over the stuff only you can hear here, folks. And that is right. Otto Sturgeon and Justin Womack are back with Marketing Geeks. We've got a great show. It's unbelievable. Once again,
Facebook marketing today. Get ready for it. It's coming right now.
This episode is brought to you by Indeed. Stop waiting around for the perfect candidate. Instead, use Indeed sponsored jobs to find the right people with the right skills fast. It's a simple way to make sure your listing is the first candidates see. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs have 4 times more applicants than non-sponsored jobs. So go build your dream team today with Indeed. Get a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply.
This episode is brought to you by State Farm. You know those friends who support your preference for podcasts over music on road trips? That's the energy State Farm brings to insurance. With over 19,000 local agents, they help you find the coverage that fits your needs, so you can spend less time worrying about insurance and more time enjoying the ride. Download the State Farm app or go online at statefarm.com. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
The Marketing Geeks. Hey, everybody. Oh, I love this. I love this. You know, honestly, I do a lot of stuff in my week. And this is one of those things.
This is one of those things that this is. Yeah, I do a lot of stuff too, and
this is one of the things that I do during my week. I do this.
This even shows up on my calendar. Like, this is on my calendar as a schedule item. Isn't that amazing? This is how I work.
Really? No, honestly, I really like this. I love this. I just love doing this so much because we've got people that listen to the show. We've got like 7 listeners, and
we really do.
They really listen. I know
we keep coming so close to breaking through, but we're just stuck on that 7. Now, I want to give a special shout out to one of our 7 there, Roger Morris.
Yeah,
who messaged me on LinkedIn today.
Really?
Asking to purchase a Marketing Geeks mug.
What?
Roger Morris asking to purchase one of our Marketing Geeks mugs. But you know what I did?
What?
Because he was the first to ask, I told him I'd give it to him for free.
Oh, dude, I don't even have a Marketing Geeks mug. What the?
Well, you live in the Netherlands. Like, that's a whole other issue. That's international shipping issues. We're talking about other problems there.
Jeez.
We're talking about other problems. So that's our special gift. And then we've had a few listeners reach out to the show, and we appreciate every time you reach out to us, whether it's on LinkedIn, on Facebook, wherever you're reaching out. We'd love to hear your feedback on this show. Don't forget to rate and review the podcast if you have not already done so.
And you know what? If you really like this podcast, you could do what a few of our 7 listeners have done. Is that a cat?
No.
Do you have a cat in the house?
No.
You've got a cat. You put the cat in the room again, didn't you?
That's my cat. That's Nala. That's Nala the cat. She is a meowing.
Nala can play piano. Not too many people know that, but It's true. So if you really like the show and you like Nala the cat, guess what you can do? You can give us some love on our Patreon page.
That's right.
Which is in the link in the description below.
Not only that, but you can actually follow the two cats, because my wife did create an Instagram account for the two cats. So if you go on to, I think it's like Ace and Nala Kitties on Instagram, you can follow the two cats on their journey to marketing success.
That's right. That's right. They started from absolute kittens in the industry, and now they are full-on cat scratch fever. Wow.
So before we get into the main topic today, I do want to say that this show today is brought to you by a new product. It's called BannerSeason, and BannerSeason is very relevant because it's Thanksgiving right now, and on Thanksgiving we like to give what? Thanks. We like to give thanks. We like to give thanks to our customers, to our clients, to our peeps.
I thought you were going to give away a turkey for a second, and I was going to have to pull the plug on that. But no,
You know I'm a vegetarian, Andres.
Okay, don't let me stop you. Keep going. Keep going.
So BannerSeason. So I've talked about another software before called RocketNotes, and this is actually from the makers of it. They just changed a few different features here, but BannerSeason allows you to send customized cards, gifts, and swag items like mugs. This is how I'm doing the Marketing Geeks mugs. This is how you can actually you can do custom tape measures if you want to put your logo on a tape measure.
But this isn't just like you pitching. Like anyone can do this, right? But
anyone can do this. So, that's right. Yeah, you sign up. It's only pay as you go, so you don't have to. It's not like a monthly service fee to be a part of it. If you go to the website fasteasycards.com, so that's fasteasycards.com, it'll open up the website, but it'll also auto-populate the invitation code. So you do need an invitation code, but if you go to fasteasycards.com, that will auto-populate with that invitation code. And you could set up a free account. Now, the difference between this software and RocketNotes, which I've shared before, is that this one has a referral program. So if you're interested in making some money as a referral partner, sign up for the account and then message me either on LinkedIn or on Facebook, or message me somehow, and I'll talk to you about that, how the referral program works. But it's a nice little way to make some money, and this software is brand new, and I think that there's a big need for people to use this because it generates referrals. I mean, I've used this. I've gotten people to post their mug on social media. I've had people renew their services with me because I made an effort to send them a card and a gift. So it's cool, and you can even
explain how it works. Because basically, if you have a client and you want to send them a thank you, you could just do it through the system, and it automatically sends them a thank you, which is great. Because that's one thing that I have learned. This is kind of marketing. Like this is just something that comes with
marketing 101.
Marketing. Well, no, it's actually marketing. Like they don't teach this in school. When you're done with
marketing
a client,
201.
it's something you learn in the back alley when you're getting your medication. You have to thank your client and give really acknowledge the closing of. It's like a small ceremony that you have to do to acknowledge that the job is over. A lot of times I would finish a job and I would just be like, okay, we're done. And it would feel kind of like I was hanging. There's got to be some sort of acknowledgement that like, hey, the job is over. Here's a thank you for allowing me to work with you.
That's actually a really good point. This software also, it's when you send a gift and you show gratitude like that, people are going to be more likely to refer you. If somebody comes to them asking for a referral, they're likely going to go to the person that put out the extra effort with your services. And then the other thing is, if you run like a membership site or something that has like a monthly retainer attached to it, like there's a significant increase in retention when you actually send a physical item to go with their, especially if it's like a digital course that you're giving out monthly. When they have a physical, tangible item that hits the kinesthetic side, there's actually a notable retention increase in memberships. So it can be useful in many regards. So that's all I have to say about it. Remember, fasteasycards.com. It's all digital. It sends to the system. It has a Zapier integration to integrate with several different softwares. But fasteasycards.com. Let's get on with the show.
All right. Here we go. The show's happening, man. It is happening. We got some news.
The show is happening.
Yeah. So
the news today. Go ahead.
So I've got an interesting little article here. Amazon Echo has won the smart speaker market. They've now have 75% of the global smart speaker market.
Congratulations.
Yeah, good for you, Amazon. You have now conquered pretty much everything at this point. In fact, you're going to change the name of Nala Kitty to Amazon Kitty.
That is coming.
Call her Alexa. Why don't you?
I got an interesting story here. We're doing a webinar coming up here on Instagram marketing coming up next Wednesday, the 20 something. What is that? That's Wednesday. Stand by. Wednesday, the 28th. We're doing an Instagram marketing webinar, so be there. But this story says that Instagram has announced today that it will begin using machine learning to find and remove inauthentic likes, follows, and comments that are produced from accounts that are using third-party apps. So if you are black hatting it, and if you don't know what black hatting means, that means like you're going below board, not above board, with your techniques of boosting your Instagram account. This is going to start removing them. It's kind of like what's happened with Twitter recently. They've removed a lot of fake followers. So your Instagram account might see a dramatic decrease as well.
So I've actually done these techniques, and basically the way that it works is you go to somebody's like Instagram account if they have a lot of followers, and you just start following those people. There's stuff that kind of there's apps that kind of automate this, where you follow other people's followers and you follow, and you have to be careful because if you do it too much, they'll basically ban you. But then if you use these apps, you unfollow the people who are not following you back. And so that's part of how you do that. But it's inauthentic following. People aren't really following you. They're just following you to get followers.
Yeah. And I post on Instagram and when you get those, you get a lot of comments that are like obviously spam, and they're just like, great post, but it's totally inauthentic. It's just there to try to get you to follow them back. So those kind of comments are also being looked at, and they will be the AI will detect them, and that practice is no longer going to be valid soon.
Well, that leads me into the next point. When we do our Instagram for Business free webinar, which we will be doing on the 28th, when is that next week?
The 28th at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, because I'm in California.
And if you want to join us, just hit the link below. It's free. It's absolutely free to our 7 listeners. But if you want to do that, then I will go over some techniques that will help bring in authenticity into how you engage people and can grow followers for your brand. So stay tuned for that. But interesting that it's about time that they crack down. There's so much influence that can happen within the social spheres, and I think that the
bottom line, Andros, is that with anything, with Google, with Twitter, with Instagram, if you're using black hat tactics, eventually they're going to catch up with you, and eventually they're no longer going to work. So if you're building your audience correctly with engaging content and getting people to follow through that, you're going to be just fine. It's when you're using these kind of like cheating tactics, that's when you get punished.
Right. So anyway, if you do want to know how to grow your brand organically, definitely connect to our webinar. I'm going to go over a new Instagram feature that was just unveiled the other day that will give, like if you have a physical product, it'll give people the opportunity to purchase stuff from your Instagram store. And I'm going to go over all of that as well. So stay tuned. Mark that on your calendar, folks.
And I want to add one thing, because I've decided to do this. If you register for the webinar and you can't make it live, I am going to make a limited replay available. So there will be a replay. It'll only be available for, what do you think? It's either 2 or 3 days. What do you think, Andros? Which one is it? 2 or 3?
You know what? It's Christmas. Give them 3 days.
Okay, so it'll be available for 72 hours. So register for the webinar. The only way you're going to get the replay link is if you register for the webinar. Even if you can't attend, register, and we'll have a link in the comments to do that. And you will have a replay link available for 72 hours only, and that's it. Unless you're a subscriber, then you have it forever.
Yeah, that's right. And if you do want to have it forever, then by all means, subscribe and join us on Patreon.
And donate. And it's only $4.99 a month as a donor, and you get all the webinars. We'll actually send you the files so you can download them and everything.
Heck yeah. What a deal. So, all right. So let's get to the meat of our program.
Let's do it. So today, Facebook
Yes.
marketing.
Dun, dun, dun.
So Andres and I, before the show started recording, have come up with a list. So we're going to give you a list of techniques on Facebook marketing, and we're going to switch off, and hopefully we don't steal each other's techniques too much here. But Andres, I want you to start with technique number 1. What's the number 1 secret to growing your Facebook brand in 2018?
Well, I gotta preface this. Yeah, I got to preface this a little bit because I got to tell you exactly what happened to me. I have a client, and they have a very big brand, right? They're expanding rapidly. So they brought me on because they were having some trouble with their marketing. And the first thing I did was I looked at their Facebook marketing, and they had spent $5,000 this quarter. That's from October 1st. It is now November 19th. $5,000. You know how many conversions they got?
I don't.
Oh, yeah. Okay. 0.
What?
They got 0. Actually, they got 1. They got 1. And when I looked at like how much their conversions were, it was $75 per conversion essentially. Because they had a few, but that nobody purchased anything, and that's criminal. Like, you should not be spending that much money. So
they had
I consulted with them.
But
the first thing,
the conversions were not purchases. So nobody actually converted as a buyer.
That's right.
So that's a big difference.
That's right.
Okay. Now you know what's most surprising about that, Andres?
Tell me.
The fact that you've got a client. That's amazing. Congratulations.
Yeah. Thank you. I know. Who knew that I could actually make money doing this? But so the first thing I said was like, and here's the funny thing is that the people that set up the ads, they were like this big marketing agency in New York, and they said, well, we've been using these guys. They're really good. They've got all these high profile brands. I was like, these people are. I mean, honestly, it was amateur hour. Like, what they were doing, it was criminal. Like, I can't believe that they have the clients that they do if they were doing this kind of work. So part of that was like looking at the types of ads they were running, how they were targeting, all of that. And so Justin and I started talking about like what actually converts the best is if you're going to do Facebook marketing ads, because Facebook marketing still is relevant depending on how you do it. And so we came up with these lists, and some of you may know some. And if you know some that we're not going to cover here, please let us know, and we'll cover it in our next show, because we'd love to hear from you. We want to have some of you specialists come on our show and tell us a few things.
And let me just say that we're going to have a combination here of organic marketing techniques, and then we'll have some that are for paid advertising. But a lot of these, a lot of mine are going to be organic. So,
yeah. So first of all, if you're creating an ad, do not put an ad that uses stock photos. Do not put an ad that looks like a product shot that has been perfectly modeled. Don't put an ad that looks like it's an advertisement. You got to create something that looks native. You got to create something that looks like it was shared by somebody else. Because you just take a moment to think about your own Facebook timeline. Think about the things that you stop at. You don't stop at ads. Nobody does, unless it's like something really like some crazy, geeky thing that I might like. But most of the content I stop at is stuff that looks like it's part of the timeline. So when you create ads, make it look like it's part of the timeline. So that's
I would just say that the only time that like obvious ads tend to work are during, holidays like Black Friday, which is coming up. Now for that, then people are expecting you to sell them. They're expecting it. So the expectation is there. But for the most part, organic native content is what's going to work. And I mean, it's never going to be perfectly organic because it's always going to say sponsored post. But the more that it feels like you said, Andres, that it's seamless in the timeline, that it belongs as just like a regular post that you're reading, that tends to get the greatest engagement, and that tends also to get the greatest clicks. So if you can get people from there to your next stage in the funnel, which should be your landing page or your lead magnet, that's what's going to work.
Which brings me to my next order of business, because aside from making it look native and organic in your timeline, you have got to have a landing page. One of the biggest problems, and this was the other thing that I was noticing with this particular client, was that their ads weren't very good. And when people did click through, guess where they dumped them off at?
The sales page.
The homepage. The homepage.
Well, that's even worse.
Yeah. It's like, then what, right? You have to have a landing page for every single ad that you're running, specifically if you aren't getting into, if you have your demographics figured out and all that stuff, that's great. But with that particular ad, if it starts to tell a story, you've got to have a landing page that tells the rest of that story.
Yeah, and when you're dealing with cold traffic, meaning you have people that have never heard of your brand, they're cold, they're being introduced to you for the first time. When you go with cold traffic, you try to go directly for a sale, that tends to not work very effectively. You can do it if you retarget a number of times. I mean, the conversion rate that I've been told is that on a first visit, it's 2% of traffic will convert on cold traffic will convert on a first visit to a sales page like that. It's 2% or less, depending on your offer, obviously. So it really matters that you take them on kind of a journey there too. Now with a landing page, if you're going to send them to a homepage, that's a terrible idea, because on a homepage, what's on the very top of a homepage? A menu with several options. A landing page is designed to have a single call to action. We don't want to give people options. We don't want to confuse, because the confused mind doesn't buy. We want to make it as simple as possible. We want to make it as obvious as possible exactly what we want our person to do. We want our person to buy, add to cart. So that's a big mistake, to send people to a homepage and not to a single product landing page, because again, you don't want them going down a rabbit hole looking at a million different products. You want them to purchase a product that they click the ad for.
Well, it gets even better, because they also told me that the company in question was having trouble figuring out how to run the ads because they didn't install a what? A Facebook pixel. Now, for those of you who don't know, a Facebook pixel is a small piece of code from Facebook that you put on your website so they can track every move that you make. And so the whole point of this, though, is that if you go to this website, they can track that you went to that website, and then you can retarget them later. So they were saying, well, like, we don't know why, but the Facebook pixel isn't firing. We have no idea why. So I go in there and in 10 minutes, I had it solved, right? In 10 minutes, I just fixed it. So
my ears are bleeding. My ears are bleeding.
I know, right? So not only were they running these ads, they were dumping people off to the homepage without a Facebook pixel. You might as well send people to the middle of the desert, right? At that point, and with no map back. And if somebody just lands on a page and they don't know what to do, they're going to leave. And the bounce rate, which showed in the Google Analytics, was terrible. People were landing and then leaving. So make sure that you have your Facebook pixel firing, folks, please.
The other thing with this is you should be pixeling the landing page, you should be pixeling the shopping cart, and you should be pixeling the thank you page after somebody purchases, because you should be able to track all three of those different engagements. Because ultimately we want people to get to the thank you page, which means the only way they get there is if they purchase. But we also want to be able to target people that go to the shopping cart and they abandon. So we want to be able to retarget abandoned shopping cart. So if you're missing those things, then you might as well not be running Facebook ads.
That's right. So make sure whatever you do that you have your a landing page for that particular ad, and also that it withstand your target market. You want to take that one away?
Well, do you have any other paid advertising ones? And then I'll get into mine. Mine are more organic marketing. So
I do, actually. And this was kind of interesting, because I was also looking at the ads that they set up, and it was a very, very broad spectrum. They created people who liked similar products to theirs, and then they created a lookalike audience. It was terrible. Honestly, it was terrible. And if you want us to really get into the nuts and bolts of Facebook marketing, we can do a webinar on that at some point and show you the ropes. If we get a few requests, we'll definitely do that. But what I did was I went in there and I started narrowing the demographic. So rather than starting at say 3 million as a target market, because again, this was a company that was like, product is for everybody. And every time a company says that to me, I'm like, who's your product for? Well, it's for everyone. I want to punch them in the head. I'm not a violent person. I'm all about but you say that to me and I'm just like, no, your product is not for everybody, people. It's just not.
I'm all about peace and love unless you tell me your product is for everybody.
Then you're going to trigger me, and then I'm going to have to headbutt you. So what I did was I said, okay, who is this product for? So influencers, like people who follow influencers or are influenced by influencers, that's kind of who their product was for. It's for a beauty brand. And so I was like, okay, so let's start with influencers who are into natural skincare. And I got down to a target market of like 39,000, a lot smaller, right? Versus like the 3 million that they were dealing with. And once I really narrowed that target market and I did some A/B tests around that, guess what? All of a sudden, they started to convert, and they weren't converting at $75 a conversion. They were converting at 3 cents a conversion. So the moral to this story is narrow the target market. Don't go too narrow, but narrow it enough so you're really specifically talking to a very specific demographic. And the more you can make your ads native to the timeline, speaking to a specific demographic, sending them to a specific landing page with your pixel that's specifically firing for that campaign, you're going to find success around that.
Well, especially if you've been in business for a while, I would start narrowing my audience by looking at my existing customers. So if you've been in business for a while and you haven't done this exercise, look at who your existing customers are and look at the demographics, look at the data. What is the data actually showing me? I mean, is it male or female predominantly? What's the age range? I mean, what are their interests? Like that kind of thing. So the more narrow you're going to get, the more effective your ad is going to be. And the more that you're actually going in there and modifying it to adjust, because as Facebook runs the ad too, you're going to see the demographic data. Like, okay, which is it? Are men or women converting more? Are what age range are they? Those kind of things. So they'll actually show you who's converting, so you could start to refine the ad as you go along too. Yeah.
So what about some organic techniques? What do you got there?
Yeah. So number one for organic is to create engagement-centric posts. So when I say this means that you should ask questions that your audience is going to want to engage with. And some of these can be not related to business even. So it's a combination. Obviously, you want to keep things on target, but periodically you should ask questions that you know, or almost like engagement bait, because the more engagement you get, the more Facebook is going to end up showing future posts to a bigger portion of your audience. So making sense?
So give us an example.
So an example would be one that I recently ran. So I recently ran a post on my Facebook account asking people what their favorite Christmas movie, or what's the best Christmas movie of all time, was my post. So it is the Christmas season, and I am a movie buff. So I actually was legitimately curious what people's top Christmas movie choices were. And so I put this out, but I also knew that this was going to generate a fair amount of comments, because people like to give advice. People like to share opinions. And so I put that out there, and lo and behold, I think it's close to 200 comments now. It's only been up there for about maybe 2 or 3 days. And you know what won as the number one movie, Andres?
The one that I chose.
That's right. Die Hard. Die Hard is the number one Christmas movie of all time, and that is the one that brings about the warmest holiday spirit. So, I mean, when I think of Christmas movies, I think of Die Hard, John McClane, Now I Have a Machine Gun, ho, ho, ho.
A little tangent. I was working in the entertainment industry for a hot minute, and when Die Hard came out, pretty soon everybody wanted to make Die Hard type movie. So people were pitching all sorts of Die Hard movies, and so the whole thing was like Die Hard on a something. So like, for instance, and some of these movies got made, like Die Hard on a bus, that became Speed, right? Die Hard on a ship.
Under Siege.
Die Hard, let me see, what was some other one? Die Hard in a spaceship.
Die Hard on a plane.
Die Hard on an asteroid.
Armageddon.
Right. And the game finally stopped when somebody went around pitching Die Hard in a building.
That just came out this year. Skyscraper with The Rock.
Yeah, that was Die Hard with The Rock and one leg.
In a building.
So the moral to this story is, I don't know.
But the point of this is, the reason you do this, and again, is that when you put out posts that generate engagement, your future posts are going to be more likely to be seen by your audience. So if you've maximized your friends to like 5,000 friends, which is the most that you can have on your listing, your post will be shown to more of them if you're showing that they are engaging with your posts. So the more engagement you get on these posts, then your algorithmic ranking will go up temporarily. And that's when you can then move into something that's more business centric and something that's more lead generating. So it's kind of a push and pull. We talked about the book Jab, 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 Right Hook a few weeks ago. And the idea there is that you're giving kind of like content, or even like engagement, and then you're going in for the ask. And the ask might be just to check out a blog post. The ask might be to go listen to a podcast. The ask might be whatever it is. It could be to buy something. But the point is, you need to be doing these first, and you need to be doing these also in order to reach more people organically on Facebook.
That's good. Yeah. And I would like to add kind of an amendment to that. This is kind of a hand in glove sort of tip. And that is,
well, you're going to need 2/3 of congressional approval to amend it.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to do it anyway. It's, I'm going to write an executive order on this one. Create content worth talking about. And that's one thing, again, the beauty brand that I was helping out, I looked at their Instagram feed, and you could take their logo and swap it out with any other brand, and you wouldn't know the difference. So the thing that I was trying to instill in them is like, listen, if you're going to create content worth talking about. Because if you're just posting something that's just a pretty picture, that's nice. But if you're not engaging people, like really engaging people, giving them something interesting or strange, then you're wasting your time. Because at the end of the day, all of us, we're just a bunch of 4-year-olds who just want to sit in front of the TV and just like, I want to watch my cartoons. That's my son right there.
Well, it's a great point though, because it's about brand and brand story.
Yeah.
And I think in the future we'll do an episode entirely on brand story. And if you don't know this, Andros's father was a famous science fiction writer. So Andros has the DNA of a storyteller in his blood.
That's right.
So Andros is positioned to give us a great podcast episode on brand storytelling. So stay tuned. We'll have that one at some point, maybe this year. We'll see.
I got DNA in a cup on my desk, and I drink it.
Oh, that means we can clone. That means we can clone.
I it's the blood of my enemies, and I savor it with each sip.
Okay, so moving on that note, let's talk about my next organic tip.
Yes,
which is when you're okay. So ideally, when you're doing these kind of engagement centric posts, if you want to send people to a link, like if you want to promote a webinar, you want to do something like that, put the link in the comments, and you're going to get better. You're going to get better reach that way, because if you put the link in the post, Facebook will demote your post and it will not show it to as many people. Anytime that you're putting a link to anything, Facebook will show it to a smaller percentage of your audience. That's just the way their algorithm works. So if you do something instead, like want to come to our Instagram marketing webinar, leave a link in the comments and I'll send you, or leave a comment and I'll send you the link.
And that actually, it drives engagement and it helps to boost the algorithm so people are engaging in the post as well. And so more people will see it.
Yeah. And I think the best way to do that, and we didn't even do this on this, is probably to just say, leave a link and I'll DM, or leave a comment and I'll DM you the link. Because if you do that, then otherwise people that look at it can just see the link if you're just sharing it a million times. So the perfect way to do that is probably to say, leave a comment and I'll DM you the link. And then you're going to get more comments that way. I think we blew it on our post recently.
Yeah.
But
well, lesson learned.
We're close to perfect.
About as close as you can get.
So do you have more? Or I have a couple more.
I do have a couple more. Again,
Go
okay,
ahead.
Here we are on the, so here it is, Just the Tip. I love that game. I always win, Just the Tip. So the next one is to know your platform, Facebook versus Instagram, right? Because here's the other thing that was a big issue with this client who will remain unnamed. But what happened was when I was when I was doing their marketing for them, they were doing all Facebook marketing, yet their general purchasers were 13 to 28-year-olds. And 13 to 28-year-olds are not on Facebook, but they are on Instagram. So I changed their marketing to just focus on Instagram campaigns. And once I did that, all of a sudden, guess what? Once again, they got engagement. So
yeah, I think there's a good point to be made here but we shouldn't limit our audience to just Facebook or Instagram. I mean, if you're B2B, the platform is LinkedIn, period. If you're a B2B company, the platform is LinkedIn. Facebook can work also. I think Facebook is kind of a general audience. So you can find anybody on Facebook. But if you're strictly B2B, I think LinkedIn is the number one platform. And if you're marketing a skincare product, then yeah, I mean, something like that, Instagram is going to be the top. It's going to be the top audience because you're getting a younger demographic. Instagram is slightly more female, although that's changing a bit. And it's very image driven, image focused. So it just makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. So know your platform, folks. I mean, honestly, if your demographic skews younger, definitely Instagram. If it skews kind of older, Facebook might be okay, might be appropriate. And if it's business oriented, neither one of those. So, just know the platform, the right platform. And another platform that is completely overlooked by a lot of people, Pinterest. Pinterest is majority women. If you feel your product is a woman-centric product, then advertising on Pinterest might be the thing to do.
Yeah. And I mean, Pinterest is great, especially for DIY things. So I think if you're a remodeler or something, showing people like remodel ideas, or like if you're a wedding planner, wedding ideas. I mean, when I got married, my wife was on Pinterest constantly on Pinterest, checking out like ideas for different decorations, ideas for different settings, like all this different stuff.
Right.
But I mean, anything that's image centric, again, because Pinterest is an image based platform. But you also see like motivational posts on Pinterest. Sometimes you'll see those like little checklists of things to do. So infographics. So there's a lot of ways of thinking of using Pinterest in creative ways, and it is an overlooked platform. I agree.
Yeah, specifically because if your wife, when she was looking for stuff for the wedding, if she suddenly saw an ad for something that was wedding related, she's already in that mindset, so she would probably click on that ad, right? So definitely know your platform and figure out ways to leverage it.
Yeah. So my next one here this is for organic, is to start moving people from your personal Facebook profile into Facebook groups. So there's two places you can really put people. You can either put them on a Facebook business page, or you can put them on Facebook groups if you want to move them. Now, Facebook business pages have basically been killed with organic reach. So your Facebook business page is essential because you need one to run ads. Like, you have to have a Facebook business page to run ads. You have to have it. It's for branding purposes. It needs to exist. But as far as engagement goes, get people into Facebook groups. They're much, much more engagement centric. I'm in a lot of groups, and I'll actually get emails sometimes to say like, this person posted in the group. So I'm actually getting notifications that people are posting in the group. So Facebook pushes the groups much, much more than they push the business page. If you have like 20,000 likes on a business page, it tends to be about 1% to 2% of your audience that will organically see a business posting. So that means that if you post on your business page, only about 1% of people will see it organically. You can promote your content, you can put money behind it and boost it, and more people will see it. But it's been very, very heavily de-emphasized. So it's not a good resource unless you're putting money behind it to promote your brand.
Good one. Got anything else?
I got one last one, which is,
okay.
And I talk about this a lot. Business happens with conversations, right? So business is a conversational mechanism. So if you could get people,
it is a social network, folks.
It's a social network. If you can private message people, DM, direct message, get them into Messenger and have private conversations. Get them on a phone call. Get them on a Zoom call. Get them on something, or a Skype call. You're gonna find that if you're actually building relationships with people, whether or not you make a sale from it, or you develop a referral partner, or you just get to know each other, and then maybe you can refer them, they can refer you, or they can introduce you to somebody that's going to lead to something bigger. Like, relationships make business. I can't tell you how valuable relationships are in business. And so the more you can develop them by reaching out to people on Messenger, the more powerful your business will become over the long haul.
And even bigger than Messenger, the other platform that Facebook owns, which everybody is using, I use it on a regular basis, is WhatsApp. So if you're running a business, don't forget to get a WhatsApp number, just simply so you could have greater instant access and communication with your clients. That is a necessity.
And WhatsApp is huge internationally. So as far as like messenger softwares go, WhatsApp is massive internationally. So it's yes, it is. I agree.
Do you want to hear something really funny? My son, who is...
Oh, go ahead. I guess so.
No. Steal my thunder. No, it's okay.
No, let me hear it. Please, the listeners want it. Maybe I don't, but the listeners do. So tell it.
Okay, fine. I'll tell you. So my son, who just turned 4, he is a WhatsApp pro. He sends emoji faces. He sends videos. He sends little messages. He knows I taught him recently not to send messages to just random people in my list, but he knows now how to do that. So he's just totally savvy with WhatsApp. He knows how to use it. My mother, who's 78, God bless her, on the other hand, not so much. And so I keep telling her, Mom, the best way to get a hold of me is with WhatsApp. You're in America. I'm here. You want to get a hold of me. She's like, WhatsApp doesn't work for me. What do you just hit the button. You just hit the button that says WhatsApp.
Hit the button.
Well, I got to go down to the T-Mobile store and get the guy to show it to me. No, you just hit the button. Anyway, that's...
But I mean, it's a product of children growing up with the technology. I mean, I grew up with regular Nintendo. And by the age of probably 3.5 or 4, I was crushing Super Mario Brothers. I was breaking records in that game. I mean, I was the king of Super Mario Brothers back in the mid 80s. So I'm just saying that when you grow up with the technology, your brain, your neurology is a sponge at that age. You're absorbing it. When he gets older, he'll be so much better than us at all this technology. It'll be insane.
I know. You know what else he's going to have?
Driverless cars. Oh, even better.
And, oh yeah, baby. It is time for the Sex Robot Report. That's right. We're the only marketing show in North America that brings you the Sex Robot Report.
It's not just
all the best.
Not just North America.
Not just Marketing Geek. Yeah, it's global. We do have a listener here in the Netherlands.
It's you, or it's your...
No, it is me. Yes. All right. So this story comes from thesun.co.uk, The Sun. And the story is mind blown. The world's first oral sex robot has been created by analyzing hundreds of hours of porn. And we all know that that's where real sex happens. The sex bot learned the actions after studying 108 hours of video porn. And it can also learn a user's desires to move accordingly. So, according to this,
does it have an AI engine where it's rapidly learning as it goes, or what?
It does. It's called the Autoblow AI, and I can't make this stuff up, folks. U.S. developers taught it the actions after studying 108 hours of video porn. That's isn't that the average viewer's just intake in a week?
That's that's a week. Yeah, it's a weekly intake. No, is that really what it's called though? Is that actually?
It's called the Autoblow AI.
Wow. Very creative.
I know.
Very creative.
Yeah, well, not false advertising there. When the Sun Online talked exclusively with inventor Brian Sloan, he said, "We use artificial intelligence to replicate." Maybe I should use a better voice for this. We use artificial intelligence to replicate techniques that make using our machines feel less robotic and more human. It's an actual quote from...
That's an actual customer testimonial.
That is. The Audible AI, which requires a plug-in socket connection, uses several sensor components to work properly. It combines a microcontroller with an infrared beam sensor and magnetic field sensors to manipulate a fleshy sleeve across 250 different points along a 5-inch long stroking plane.
So you plug it in. So side effects may include electrocution. Can you imagine? Can you imagine somebody being electrocuted from that thing?
like you die and you go to St. Peter and you're just like, well, how did you die? Well,
you're St. Peter. You know what happened.
Come on now, don't make me say it. Don't make me
say it out loud. Oh my God.
That, gentlemen, concludes another scintillating episode.
This technology is real, folks, and it's coming. It's coming. No pun intended there.
Yeah. Just grab a tissue. It's coming. All right. So there we go. Now,
Geek news.
Geek news. Next order of business. Before that, I got to do a book report, man.
All right. Book report.
Are you ready?
Let's do it.
All right. Hold on. I'm testing out new music. Here we go. And now, from the Netherlands, comes the Marketing Geeks book report.
I feel like I need a massage right now.
Yeah, that I'm tapping into like ancient wisdom. Did that work? Does that like say that? I don't know.
I love it. I love it. Okay. Now, message us on LinkedIn, email us at realmarketinggeeks@gmail.com. Let us know what you think of the new music.
Yeah. Okay. So here we go. This is called Blitzscaling from Reid Hoffman and Chris Ye. Blitzscaling is a book in which it talks about how a sustainable business growth can happen and reach massive scale. So blitzscaling is a term that is part Blitzkrieg, and Blitzkrieg is, of course, during World War II, the Germans they would do these fast and quick lightning maneuvers. It's how they were able to get ahead while people were still trying to figure out how to run the rules of war. I'm not condoning the Nazis by any means. It's just kind of history. But blitzscaling is a form of marketing where you get in and get out real quick and allows you to reach growth at a massive scale. So what it does is it basically, in the book, they talk about how blitzscaling embraces certainty and risk. So if rather than being sure and taking each step as it comes and doing market analysis, you just get in, you try things and get out. And sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't. But if you are scaling up, you can take a bit more chances and be a bit more flexible by embracing the uncertainty and risk within your marketing campaigns. Blitzscaling companies prioritize speed over efficiency to achieve an advantage over their competitors, and they embrace speed over efficiency. So it's all about really just doing things fast and quick and trying things out, trying different.
Let me say this because I recently, well, this was a while ago, I guess, but I went to the Infusionsoft corporate office, and Infusionsoft is a CRM software. But on the wall, they have a poster that I love that says version 1 is better than version none.
That's right.
And to me, the idea, you put something out there, period, and you do it fast because, speed is always going to win over perfection every single time.
Yeah, and that's the next thing they get into in this book, which is that you have to think about the first scaler advantage. It's the first person to scale up. You don't have to be the best. You have to be the first person to get there and have that product out there first. Because once you get it and you get locked in the minds of the users, then you're the product, right? So it's a lot harder to disrupt and overtake a competitor than it is once you're there first. You have a much better chance of being successful.
Love that. Be first, not best. I love that.
Yeah. So rapid growth thrives on networks, which allow unprecedented access to sizable markets. So when you start growing rapidly, make sure that you're using networks, specifically different types of social media, some of the techniques that we've gone over. And there are 4 different growth factors that you have to keep in mind when scaling up. There's network effects. So in the book, they were talking about how when people were starting to use Airbnb, the more people that used Airbnb, the more people realized that was the go-to platform. So more people went on to Airbnb because more people were using it. And it creates this positive feedback loop, right? So you have to think about network effects. You have to think about market size. You have to think about distribution, and you have to think about high gross margins, meaning once you create a digital product, it is easy to replicate, and your gross margins become quite higher. So a lot of what they're talking about in this book has to do with digital products more and software as a service more than anything else. And high growth margins are really something that you have to think about, because once you figure out what your high gross margin is, then you can have your distribution be a lot broader and wider and take a lot more chances. So
well, I think the main point is, if you know your analytics, you know what it costs you to acquire a lead, what it costs you to acquire a customer. Yeah, you could take a lot more risks. You could try different marketing techniques. You can get away with a lot more if you actually know your numbers.
Yeah, for sure. Next, they talked about to achieve the speed of blitzscaling, a good product market fit and operational sizabilities are crucial. So you have to really think about like how your product is going to be a good market fit. And if you scale up too quickly and not look at like how it's going to fit into a broader sense of the market, then you might not make it. So the speed of blitzscaling requires management strategy, and you have to have a good plan of growth. So the main thing is that it's one thing to just try things, but you do have to have some sort of management strategy. And if you don't have that, and this is of course like just careful planning. So it's a combination of doing things fast and quickly, but also having a strategy around that. Relationships change and expand with growth. This was one of the most important parts of the book to me, because what they talked about in this was that if you have, say, a startup with just a few people, right? Let's say that you start with maybe like 4 different people, then you're going to have just like 8 to 16 different types of relationships between those types of people. Does that make sense?
I think so.
Yeah. So what that means, and I'm going to take this directly from the book here. If you have just 2 people, there's a number of relationships that are kind of small. But when you have 15 people, then that shoots up to 325, right? Because every one of those people have different types of relationships. But when you have when you have like say 25,000 employees, like Facebook does, you have more than 312 million types of relationships within that organization. Right? So you have to be, as your organization grows quickly, you have to take into consideration the fact that the relationships within the organization are going to change. And so what was originally just 2 guys or 3 guys talking to one another, you now have managers and subordinate managers under that. So you've got to think about how you're going to scale up. I've been asked to come into a company just recently to help with this very project, to help scale up and reorganize the organization, because a lot of companies don't think about this type of thing. So, and then finally, for blitzscaling companies, there are 7 proven patterns that lead to success. Are you ready for them?
Oh, I can't wait.
Okay. They are take advantage of digital products, meaning, of course, if you can make it a software as a service, if you can make a digital product, that's great. If you don't have a digital product, digitize as much as possible. So, for instance, Amazon, which had, they basically were a marketplace, but they digitized how the products were available to people. Of course, have a subscription service if you can. Leverage the power of platforms. So if you don't have your own platform, then leverage other platforms to help you with your scaling up. Take advantage of online marketplaces. So, for instance, I have that beauty brand that I'm helping out. They were trying to figure out how to get into more people's hands, and I told them they have to get on Amazon. It's just something they have to do. So take advantage of that marketplace. And then take advantage of content sharing. So create content. This is what version we were talking about earlier. Create content that's worthy of sharing and worth talking about. And then finally, offer a freemium and a premium version of your service to get more users engaged. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, I finished my ancient wisdom. That was Blitzscaling by Reid Hoffman and Chris Ye.
Man.
I read the book, so you don't have to.
I feel smarter.
You like that?
I do. I like it. I love the music. I'm just digging the music.
Yeah. I like it
good.
too.
Well, let's get into geek news, and then let's wrap this thing, right? Geek news story number 1. This is our 3rd week talking about this, but the Deadpool PG-13 reboot thing, or whatever it's called, they're taking Deadpool 2 and repackaging it as a PG-13 cash grab. The trailer was released today, featuring none other than Fred Savage, because Fred Savage is going to be heavily in this movie for some reason, because it's Deadpool 2 PG-13 edition. We want your money. Give us your money now.
It's going to be. Do you know what that's a callback to? Come on, this is like the geekiest thing ever. You got to know. Fred Savage, come on, thank you. Oh man, I was going to take away your geek badge, man, if you couldn't answer that one.
I know.
Okay.
I got a couple more stories here.
All right.
Jurassic World 3 is being scripted right now, and they've brought back Colin Trevorrow, I don't know how to pronounce his name, but Colin Trevorrow and Emily Carmichael have begun work on writing the script for Jurassic World 3. Hooray! Yeah,
another sequel we do not need.
Speaking of very necessary sequels. And then the shameless cash grab of the week. You ready for it?
Yes.
Rambo 5 is in production, and they had so Sylvester Stallone had hired an author named David Morrell to write a soulful rendition of Rambo. He worked on it quite a bit. They had kind of put together the story, and then they shelved it in favor of Rambo fighting a drug cartel in Mexico.
You know what's funny about that is, did you ever read The Stand by Stephen King, which is fantastic?
Nope, seen the movie, but not read the.
There's one scene in The Stand where 2 of the survivors are making their way across America towards the end of the book, and they stop at a little town. It's completely deserted, obviously, and he plays a movie, and the movie that he's playing is a Rambo sequel, and in that he's fighting drug kingpins.
Very prophetic.
So that means the end of the world as we know it is about to happen.
I always like the Langoliers. That was a good one. The Langoliers.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all. That's all I want to say. The Langoliers. That's it. That's all I got for Geek News.
Great effects. Okay, I got one story to close out the show here.
All right, can't wait.
Steven Universe Season 6 is on, and that's all I got to say. Like, Steven, for those of you, first of all, my friend, I am a few years ahead of you as far as the kid universe goes. I had to talk you off the ledge of watching Romeo and Juliet. Honestly, sir.
No, I watched that one. No, the sequel, Sherlock Gnomes, was the one you talked me off the ledge of.
Yeah, Sherlock Gnomes. Yeah, please do not. Well, for God's sakes, do not ever watch that. Honestly, that was one of the.
But Johnny Depp is in it.
Not only was it one of the worst kids films I've ever seen, it was one of the worst movies I'd ever like. It was. I'm not kidding. One of the only movies I was ready to walk out on, and the only reason I didn't is because my kid would have liked that movie. I was just there by myself. No, my kid was sitting next to me.
I will say that one of the fastest ways to get me to do something is to tell me that do not do this. Do not do this. That's one of the fastest ways to get me to do it. I'll just tell you that right now.
All right, go ahead. I hope you can get that hour and a half of your life back. But Steven Universe. Now, if you haven't seen Steven Universe is not only one of the best kids shows ever made. In my opinion, it's actually one of the most heartfelt, wonderful shows ever made. It's like that and Adventure Time. That's like the Yellow Submarine of our generation. Those two shows, unbelievably good and deep and meaningful and daring. And as far as an animated series goes, next to, of course, Rick and Morty being number one, I would say Adventure Time and Steven Universe are neck and neck. So
what we're due for is we're due for Black Mirror, but it's been all quiet on the Black Mirror Netflix front. So I haven't heard anything about the new season, other than I know they've been filming it. So I'm hoping that they surprise us with a Black Mirror season in December, but I'm thinking it looks more like 2019 early on. We're going to get it.
Well, stay tuned, and we will definitely give you a review as it comes. And with that, folks, another fabulous edition of Marketing Geeks. This was a great show, man. I feel so good.
This was good. This was a good one. And don't forget, if you have not done so, please rate, please review, please subscribe to the podcast. Please go check out our Patreon page and become a donor to get a shout out on the show. Plus, we're going to give you things like free webinars. And if you donate up to $20 a month, then we are actually going to give you a private group call. So all of the donors that are at the $20 level get a private group call with the Marketing Geeks, the very famous Andros Sturgeon and the less famous Justin Womack.
That's right. We and just FYI, we charge $175 for businesses per hour to consult with. And so think about it, $20 and you can get to talk with us.
Yeah. It really is a good deal.
What a deal.
Even if you go to Fiverr Pro and hire me, you're going to pay a lot more than that. So it's true.
Can I hire you for $5 just to do something stupid?
You're not going to get me for $5. Go check out my profile. Go look at it. You're not going to get me for $5.
Damn. Should have gotten you in your cheek. With that, ladies and gentlemen, from the Netherlands,
we love you. From Camarillo, California, stay classy.